Hi, my name is Galen and I'm a PhD candidate here at Volt. I work with marine microbial volatiles. Specifically, I work with bacteria and phytoplankton, and the goal of my PhD research is to investigate the drivers of marine biological VOC emissions in culture, in the lab, and also out in the environment at sea. My interest began through my bachelor's and my master's in climate science, but also personally, I've always been very interested in the environment and the importance of climate change for my generation and the generations that will come after me. Beyond the universal understanding that fossil fuels are the largest contributor to changes in the climate, I am professionally interested in the role that biological functions play in the drivers of climate change, specifically the marine environment in regulating changes to the climate. Working with marine originating trace gases like volatile gases is important because there is a knowledge gap currently in the field. Little is known about what role the ocean, specifically biological organisms like bacteria and phytoplankton, play in the flux of trace gases to the atmosphere and the subsequent impact on our climate. My particular research focuses on broad and fundamental questions about the origin of biological VOCs from the marine environment. For example, I conduct field research in the Greenland Sea, on a cruise, collecting water samples across the phytoplankton bloom, to a summertime field campaign in the Baltic Sea, investigating emissions of VOCs across the summertime, to lab-based experiments based on cultured bacterial isolates and their volatiles. So for example, the culture-based experiment that I have been working on, it started by collecting water samples from the Baltic Sea, which were spread on bacterial growth plates, and we isolated colonies that were able to grow. I cultured these colonies, and there was also a phylogenetic analysis done, and then I measured the VOCs of the bacterial cultures to see if phylogeny is one of the drivers of VOC emissions. And I can say that some of the results of my study indicate that it seems to be that there's a universal volatilome across most bacterial strains, or at least the ones that I measured, but that we can also see there are specific masses that are unique to specific strains that could be used as biomarkers for the presence of bacteria in these kind of healthy or like ideal conditions, like how I measured in culture. The type of research that I conduct involves all different types of scientific approaches. So for example, I'm involved in water sampling, and this can take place on a boat or directly from shore, where we collect the water. We either let the gases passively come out of the water, or else we purge the gases out of the water. We use a variety of different mass spectrometry techniques to measure the presence of the gases that are there. And then I also use molecular techniques to investigate who's there, what strains of bacteria or phytoplankton, as well as optical techniques. As I told a little bit about earlier, I also work with culturing and traditional microbiology techniques. So as you can hear, it's a wide range of different types of biological approaches to VOC research. So in reality, most of my days are involved with looking at a computer screen, doing data analysis and writing, but The life of a PhD student at University of Copenhagen can be quite varied. We are involved in attending courses and seminars. We supervise and teach, and we also do exchanges. So, sometimes the time at the computer isn't as long as well. Of course, when we're doing lab work or field work, this brings some variety to the day-to-day life. But I would say one of the most consistent things is that I pretty much have a meeting every day where I'm either checking in with my supervisors and meeting with postdocs to talk about challenges I may be facing, or attending presentations from my fellow colleagues so I can hear more about the research they're doing and possibly form future collaborations. It's spring here in Copenhagen, which means that the summer is quickly approaching and the field season is soon upon us. In 2 weeks, I leave for a scientific cruise to the Greenland Sea, which I'm super excited about. And also this summer, I will participate in 4 field campaigns on the island of Butto in the Baltic in collaboration with the Finnish Environmental Institute and Finnish Meteorological Institute, and also my change of environment to Helsinki in the fall. And I'm particularly excited for this experience because professionally, I'll be learning about new optical techniques that I haven't had the opportunity to work with yet in my PhD. But also personally, as a foreigner living in Denmark, I'm excited to continue my Nordic adventures to a new country. Thank you so much for watching, meeting me, and getting to know me a little bit better. I hope that you learned something new about the ocean, marine volatiles, or the exciting type of work that we do here at Volt. If you want to learn more, feel free to reach out to me or follow me on LinkedIn, and also keep up to date with the rest of the Meet the Scientist series.